That's better. Today's video is sponsored by Professional Photographers of America. We'll talk about PPA here in a second. The Lumix S9 is one of the most frustrating but also most capable cameras I've ever purchased, but I may have been seeing it through the wrong lens this entire time. For context, I was one of those folks that saw all the creators post their videos at the exact same time when the S9 launched. I looked up the specs myself and I immediately pulled the trigger on my very own S9. My son had just been born and I was starting to look for the perfect daily dad camera to document my son's life, family events, stuff like that. And the marketing videos made it seem like this was gonna be a great daily carry, compact camera, but it was still somehow full frame even though it was compact. It shot incredible video quality and insanely good JPEGs that I could bake my own looks into. It seemed too good to be true. Then my S9 showed up and I started to shoot with it like crazy. I was using it every single day to document and test and just figure this little camera out. It was a new concept for me, having a compact full frame camera. And after a little while, it started to feel like this wasn't the best decision for what I was going for with the S9 as a daily documentary camera. I couldn't get over the lack of an EVF, the lack of truly compact lenses for this system, and some other things that I've already covered extensively in my first 2 reviews of this camera. So ultimately, the S9 landed on the shelf, and I tried a bunch of different options, some pretty cool, some kind of bad, but in the back of my mind, there was always something about this camera that was drawing me in. So this time, I've approached the S9 from a completely different angle. Let me start this chapter by saying I'm absolutely privileged to be in the position to have too many cameras as options for me to play with. It's an incredible blessing that I'm aware of. I'm not trying to say that to brag, as if having a camera YouTube channel would be anything to brag about anyway, but I'm trying to say that to say I can be incredibly picky. And recently, I had a 3-camera shoot gig come up and I had to choose 3 cameras of my own to bring with me. And I ended up really wanting to bring the S9 with me as my C camera slash top-down camera slash highly compact, kind of micro cinema camera build. I tossed it into this wild looking tanky cage from XLCS Designs. Shout out Will. Thank you for sending that to me a while ago. That's pretty cool. This kind of started to unlock the S9 for me. I think the entire time, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are already aware of this, but the fact that the S9 is like a pocketable, not pocketable, but a compact S5 IIX or S5 II is pretty wild, especially when you start to throw it into a production or discrete type shooting scenario. And maybe this video is just more of a philosophical approach to the S9 or compact cameras, but I stopped trying to force my brain to squeeze the S9 into the picture or the style of shooting I had built up for it. And you know, I think some of it was the way the camera was marketed toward content creators and just quick, easy, on-the-go shooting. But as I dissected in mostly my first review, this camera is very complex. It's not a super easy camera to pick up, digest all the settings and features, and then just start ripping Instagram reels. Like, yeah, you can do that, but the point of my other reviews is you can do anything you want with this camera. And that's what made it confusing on who should buy it. But now that I've found a cool place for it to fit into my workflow, it definitely just kind of like took the pressure off and made me realize how cool this camera is as a compact cinema setup. It's a Swiss Army knife, and sometimes a Swiss Army knife doesn't feel great at any one thing because it's a master of none. It's a jack of all trades. So you can kind of fit it into whatever is best for you. And I think for me, I'm kind of maybe considering downsizing a lot of my camera gear this year. And I've been thinking a lot about like what core cameras would I want to keep. And to my own surprise, I really want to keep the S9 around because it's so handy in these compact, discreet, or super quick turnaround styles of shooting, but it's not necessarily like shooting dad cam footage. Professional Photographers of America is an online resource that has tons of different perks with their membership. Also, you get a discount if you use my link to sign up for the membership. And you can also go to Imaging USA for free your first year after signing up. I just went last month. I got to meet up with a bunch of you from the community. It was so fun. But there's so much more to a PPA membership. The biggest perk, in my opinion, is you get up to $15,000 of gear, equipment, insurance as part of your membership, which is incredible. If you have something lost, stolen, or broken, this is gonna save your butt. This also works as security for your rentals. So I borrow and rent gear from different camera places, and this works as my collateral. So I can use my PPA insurance to keep me safe in literally any situation. But there's also other perks like the indemnification trust, which basically means if you get into some trouble with a client or somebody's unsatisfied or tries to come after you, you can actually enlist PPA to help you through those issues, which is great. Just having somebody in your corner is amazing, especially when it comes to legal stuff. Just keep yourself safe. And there's also business resources, classes. There's also the photo vision. So if you're interested in coming to Imaging USA next year or any of the other perks we mentioned, please click the link down below. You'll get a discount on your membership. It supports my channel. And then you can come to Imaging USA next year and hang out with the community. It would mean the world. All right, you guys are the best. Now let's continue on with the S9. So here we are, about 20 months since this camera was originally launched, which is wild how fast that has gone. But I don't want to sit here and theorize about an S9 II, even though I hope that is a thing in the pipeline. What I want to talk about is the S9 as it is and who it might be great for, what scenarios it might be amazing for right here and right now for those of you who are looking for quality gear at an affordable price. Because realistically, at the end of the day, this is an incredibly powerful video camera. It can shoot nice photos, but I think it's mostly a really nice video camera for nearly just $1,000 depending on the used market, which is kind of insane for what it can do. So first and foremost, what is this camera gonna be great for? YouTube, this right here. More broadly, social media content. I hate that word. I hate the word influencer, but this is the world we're living in. And I think the S9 is just an amazing option for internet video creation of any kind. Recently, I launched a video on my second channel, my tech channel, and it's doing super well, which just gets me fired up because I just wanted to make a fun video about something that I was passionate about. And I actually shot this video it's a Steam Deck OLED video. I shot this on 3 different cameras. One is the Pixis 12K. I used the Sony a7 IV for some like walkabout outdoor B-roll stuff. And then the S9 for my indoor studio footage. And I just kind of think it's wild that I can blend, not like to my own credit, but like anyone can blend a 12K cinema camera in RAW with a Lumix S9, which is around $1,000 used. I actually use the exact same lens on both cameras as well, just to make it even more seamless. I honestly just wanted to do it as a test to see how much I could bend and push and pull the footage to make everything match. So it was fun to experiment and see like the reaction in the comments too. Like people were really stoked about the footage. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, it's Pixis 12K, S9, a7 IV. It's just cool that like you can make a story, make a video that you're proud of and shoot it on whatever you want, blend it with other great quality footage. I'm just trying to say the S9 makes baller footage. That's it. Here's my last point with YouTube or social media video creation on the S9, 6K open gate. I know this topic has like been beat to death already, but it really is just a phenomenal tool to have in your arsenal, especially if you're gonna cut stuff for vertical later or you just want more wiggle room in post. I do tons of reframing and keyframing, stuff like that, and OpenGate just makes my life more fun in post. So I think it's a win. And something that I try to preach in other videos when I'm talking about Lumix is the fact that their OpenGate codecs are 420 10-bit instead of 422. You have nothing to worry about. There's still tons of color information in those files. It's very similar to 422. You have like literally, you're not gonna notice, I'm not gonna notice, and nobody on the internet's gonna notice. As much as you wanna think that you can, maybe you can, maybe you're a miracle baby, I don't know, but it looks freaking good. But let's forget about social media, internet videos, because not all of you do that. Not all of you wanna do that. This camera, the S9, would also be amazing for any sort of compact, discreet filmmaking, like doc style stuff. If you need to go out and get some quick B-roll pickup shots, or even like quick little interviews or walkabout footage, it has incredible internal image stabilization, IBIS. It has great autofocus, and it has the same sensor that's in the S5 IIX, S5 II, S1 IIe. It's a phenomenal sensor. It's got beautiful colors in Vlog, enough room to push and pull the dynamic range as long as you get your exposure relatively close. It's solid, dude. And the fact that it's so tiny makes for amazing like handheld dock stuff because you have that great IBIS. And one thing people might be concerned with is the fact that there's no internal fan on this camera. But after the first major firmware update that took the recording limit off this camera, a lot of us were able to test it and push it pretty far, and it doesn't really overheat. And I actually found this guy named Chroma Decay on YouTube. He has a cool channel, go check him out. He uses the S9 in a tropical environment, and he has no issues with overheating either. And that's, I think, his main camera that he uses for his work stuff. So I'll link his video in the description as well, but I don't think you have anything to worry about unless you're doing like probably like insanely long takes. There are a couple things you have to keep in mind, like it only has a single SD card slot. It has a micro HDMI, no EVF, so if it's really bright out, it might be hard to expose with that little screen, but only you can weigh out if this is gonna be something that works for your particular workflow. Only you know that. But I think in today's video production world where there's so many people shooting so many different types of things, the S9 could fit into a lot of those. You could use this for wedding films, you could throw it on a gimbal for real estate stuff that's compact, not too heavy, toss anamorphics on it, shoot an open gate, and make beautiful narrative work for a budget camera. The possibilities with the S9 are endless once you stop forcing it into a little Instagram reel bubble of a camera and start seeing it as the compact video production workhorse that it truly can be. I know one of the biggest issues I had, and a lot of you have had, tons of people on the internet have had, is that pesky rear dial. But luckily, I think I got that fixed with the isopropyl alcohol 91% from CVS. A little dash will do ya. If you guys can support, I have a Patreon and YouTube memberships. And if you subscribe to the secret podcast tier, I have a podcast episode up with Matt Frazier from Lumix, who has helped develop some of these amazing cameras.
So that's where all of the extra anamorphic modes really came from, was initially in that S1H model. That's a lot more than you probably needed, but that's...
No, this is actually, so you're bringing up other things I wanted to ask you. Please go support on Patreon or YouTube memberships. You get the same stuff across both platforms, and it would mean a lot. And make sure to text me when you get home so I know you're safe, and watch out for deer. And please remember that you guys are loved much more than you might even know, okay? God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next vid. Bye.